Welcome, guys, to the very first episode of season 2 of Speaking with Saif, back for a second lockdown. Now, originally, I started this kind of podcast with a lot of people that you probably will see on the screen right now, where we're discussing things from mental issues to business to fitness and everything around lockdown, and obviously the struggles and adaptations of life. For those that don't actually know me, my name is Saif. You can find me at Saif the Writer literally on every single social platform. I'm a history teacher, entrepreneur, social speaker, podcaster, author, poet, and hopefully a bunch more things in the near future as well. Joining me on Speaking with Saif, we have the founder, or one of the founders of Ottoman Doner, Abdal. He is someone that we have worked with previously, and I'm very excited because he's someone that does love kind of giving his insight and his wisdom. He goes around to different schools. He shares his kind of insight on building Ottoman Doner, and especially in this kind of a pandemic, we're hugely interested in the fact that I'm seeing Ottoman Doner grow a lot more, and I've been ordering from them. A lot of people have been ordering from you guys. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
How have you guys, as a company, adapted to the pandemic? Being a restaurant, but being in a position where you can't really, touch or go next to someone as well. But you guys have grown in that time.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say I hope everyone's safe. I know this pandemic has been hard for many on a personal level and on a professional level for many. So I hope everyone's safe. This has been truly a testing time for everyone, not just in the business. We have felt it in our business. We're a new business. Just before that, actually, lockdown, we set up about a year before. So we were in the infancy of our business when kind of lockdown kind of hit, really. So we've had to really change and think and adapt in terms of how we progress with our business. And alhamdulillah, it's worked so far. Ottoman Doner was set up in 2018 in December, and we're now in 2021 and we have 3 stores, alhamdulillah. So one of the main things I think during this lockdown has been adapting, being able to change, because legislations have changed every 6 months, every 2 weeks sometimes. So just being on top of what's happening nationally, the guidelines, following them, and also being there. I think we at Ottoman, we believe in community service, and we wanted to provide not just a business service, but a community hub service where people can come to. That's one of our main focus in terms of providing a service to the community, whether it is charity events. We've done a lot of food parcel this lockdown, and in turn really it's the customers that give us that. We're able to do that because of our customer base and how we've grown, and we always like to give back in which way that we can. So we've had to change our concept a little bit in terms of our delivery. We're now a takeaway only. It's impacted our sales, yes. Our sales have been down, but on the other side, we've really had to go on the online platforms, social media, and really promote the takeaway. Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Just Eats, and these are the platforms that we've used to get the business to where it is at the moment.
We'll take a question very quickly from one of the interns, Jay.
Hi, bro.
Hello, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Bro, so recently, actually, the first time I tried Ottomans was with Saif.
Okay.
And I must say, bro, it was probably one of the best donors I've had. And honestly, hand on heart, it was up there with the best I've had.
Alhamdulillah.
And I love what you sort of the message you have with Ottomans, and you and the crew down there want to do for the community. I absolutely love it, and hopefully you can continue to do that even though we're in a pandemic. So, bro, my main question is, how do sort of you and the other directors or lead members of Ottoman sort of communicate with each other to try and develop your brand, and how do you try to sort of introduce new things into your restaurants during this time?
Okay, good question. First of all, I'm happy that you tried us, enjoyed us. Don't forget to leave feedback on Google and Instagram.
I will do.
So our menu really hasn't really changed too much over our 4 hour since we started. We started off with our lamb doner and chicken doner as a prime business. we later added a range of burgers. We've got 5 or 6 burgers that we do, and we don't really do anything more than that. Our menu is very, very simple. If you go in there, people now memorize the menu. They know what they want when they come in, which is good. Because we didn't want a menu which is so complicated. It's a fast food outlet. We're fast food, so we want people to come out with their food and enjoy their food and service that's provided. So we've had a number of ideas that come. What we do with them is we try it first. We've got a close knit community who are food lovers, foodies, and we will always seek advice from them, not just from the people who work there as well, the staff or the management. We always seek external advice from foodies, and we get their advice in terms of what goes well, what doesn't go well. And the basis is we try and keep the menu simple, simple as possible. Because for us, that's worked. We could have brought in lots of different burgers, lots of different additions to the doner, but we've chose to keep it very, very simple. And it's a model that's working. So I don't see us changing that anytime in the future.
Awesome, thank you. I believe you have one more question from another intern.
I had a question. What are some of your personal learnings having lived through the pandemic and witnessing these difficult times?
There's so many. For me personally, this was the first time I went into the food industry. My background is sports management and teaching and coaching. So this was in itself a challenge for me without the lockdown and having to learn a new trade. It's been a roller coaster because one of the main learning points has been being able to adapt and change. Because every day we've gone in, something's been different, something's changed. With a business, sometimes the supply is not there. With all this legislation, with Brexit coming in, the sugar tax just before that, a lot of our produce that comes in and we have dealt with out from the UK weren't coming in. And the stress of having to bring them products in is a challenge. We've got containers that were waiting on the ports with our branding bags and boxes and stuff that were just sitting there that weren't being allowed into the UK. So just chasing that up, bringing that in. That's been probably the biggest learning point is do everything in advance, make sure you have it. I think we've learned. So I'll give you an example. Our branding now, it comes from Turkey, the bags and so on and so forth. We order that way in advance. So, we had a delivery last week. We've got delivery coming in this week. And we order that way in advance because we need it in 6 weeks' time, but we give a 10 week period. So in case there's that delay now, especially with what's happening with Brexit and laws are changing, no one really knows exactly what they are. Ships have been, containers have been held. So that's one thing. The other thing is we're very loyal to some of our people that we use to get our produce in. And that's been key because that relationship has paid dividends in this period where we've had tough times, but we've been able to lean on them because we have that relationship and it's grown in this period. We've been able to work things out quite rapidly, actually, because of that relationship. If we didn't have that, I think we would be in a very sticky situation in some points.
Awesome, thank you so much. We're going to head to a very quick break and we'll be back with the Would You Rather scenario round. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, and we are starting straight away with our Would You Rather round. So this is a case of we're going to ask you a couple of questions, and you just need to tell me which of the binary answers you'd rather. So this is question 1, and in fact, this is going to be going to Shaquille to start off. Shaquille, would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
Going into the past, because I'm very much interested in seeing how it all began for me, and I'd say definitely to see where I came from and how it all started, as opposed to opting to go and see what I create in the future.
Scary thought that is. Same question to Abdul.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go to the future because I would love to see how my kids grow up and where they are, and where they get to. I think, I'll go for the future.
Awesome. If I was to answer it as a history teacher, I would say I'd love to go back. Yeah, I'm more interested in learning from what these guys have left behind, because I feel like we've forgotten everything, and I feel like it's not really the truth that we know today, and we can get to closer to the truth by understanding the past a lot better. Would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak all foreign languages?
I think speak all foreign languages. I'm a person who likes traveling, so having to speak the local language wherever I go would be a great advantage. Definitely speak the language.
Makes perfect sense. Shaquille?
I'm going to go with the same option, and primarily because we live in such a globalized world today, and it almost seems like technology and advancements in various different areas are now kind of closing barriers and bridging a gap for communication, but there still will always kind of remain that one massive thing where you just won't understand each other based on languages. And I'm also someone who definitely enjoys traveling and learning about new cultures and experiences, and I guess this would give me a real advantage if we can actually communicate in different languages. So,
awesome. Yeah. None of you guys have a pet that you talk to now, and I turn to my cat and I'm like, I wish you could actually understand what I'm saying right now. Last question. Let's go with the basis of, would you rather have a lot of money right now or live twice as long, just so I can make it halal?
I'd say still my answer won't change, because I think and this is something I was actually having an interesting conversation with my couple of my mates, where we were just talking about how we can so easily lose ourselves in the chasing and desire to acquire money and materialistic wealth, and that's just something I don't feel like I'm motivated by money or driven by money. I think that the other option you've given is literally an example of things money can't buy. You can't pay to live longer. So I would most certainly still stay with that, and the way I see it, living longer gives you more of an opportunity to learn and just improve and get yourself ready for what's to come.
Awesome. Abdul Bhai?
I would definitely go with live longer. It will give me the ability to try and make change a bit longer, try and influence, try to inspire is what I have passion for. If I could be here another 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, then hopefully I could do some good and take that with me.
Well, I fully agree with everything that you guys said, but very alternative motivations right now. I would have actually gone for the first answer. Reason being is so that I don't have to actually chase money, because I agree with what you said, Shaquille. I feel like people lose themselves chasing money. So if it was already there, then I don't need to chase anything and go down the struggle of that side of things. But then actually understanding that there are people that live like very, very long amount of time, but make very little impact on the world at the same time. There's loads of people that live and they get gifted with long years, but they do very little with it.
I think that is definitely open to interpretation. Like,
for sure. I think
going off mine and Abdul's answer, we could easily say the option number 1, and going back to Abdul's answer as well. Like, it's like, if I do have more money, then I can actually use that to affect change.
Yeah, exactly. I think for all of us individually, I think we'd be able to use either option in the correct way, hopefully, and make an impact. Either way, I think all of us have basically said that we all want to make an impact or do some good with whichever option that we pick. And that is it for the first episode of Speaking with Saif. Thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in. This will be up on YouTube. It will be up on basically all the platforms. Once again, if you haven't already seen it or you don't know much about it, check out Ottoman Doner. And thank you once again, Abdul, for coming in and actually giving us a little bit of insight from your background as well.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hopefully we'll be back next week with another episode. This time we'll probably have another traveling friend of mine, someone that's traveled to many countries around the world, spoken in front of thousands of people in huge amounts of crowds, and is a huge motivational person for many people around the UK. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys very soon.